Hi everybody, I wanted to hop on. I told you guys earlier that I was going to come on tonight and do a makeup tutorial. A couple quick things while people are hopping on. If you see the red box up in your corner, that means you are watching this video live. Thank you for joining. Make sure that you comment #live so I know you're here and I can say hi. If you don't see the red box, that means you're watching the replay. Make sure you comment #replay so that I can follow up with you and see what you thought of the video or if you had any questions about the products that I used. Today we're going to use the Addiction 4 palette, which I've used the last couple times I've done videos, but I was using the more neutral tones, whereas tonight I wanted to do something a little bit more fun and bold that I haven't really done before, so bear with me. Everything will be linked in the description at the end of this video, so you'll be able to click on everything that I've used and have access to it. So I already started a little bit just because it takes me a little bit longer. I did put on my Touch Glorious Hydrating Face Primer, this will be linked. And I also did do my eyebrows already. So the next step in my process is I will usually take concealer. You can use any of the splurge creams as well. They're sold out right now. So I'm using concealer because I don't have any more left. I'm going to take this and put this on my eyes because I don't have any primer for my eyes right now. So this, when you put it on your eyes, it's just going to help the eye makeup stick to your eyes a little bit better, and you're not going to see those creases or wear throughout the day. The other thing I did want to show you guys tonight that I haven't showed you thus far is we have this really great brush cleaner. So I don't know about you, but I hate cleaning my makeup brushes. I feel like it takes forever because I have way too many of them. But when I got this brush cleaner, it's super nice. You take the cleaner and you spray it right on your brush, and then you take it on like a towel and you just clean it off, and it dries it instantly. So this is what it looks like. It's all cleaned off on here, and this is what my brush looks like now. So it's ready for me to use right away, which is really nice. All right, so again, I'm using the Addiction 4 palette, and the first color I'm going to use is going to be Tender. I'm going to take and put this right under my brow line. Hi, Holly. Bear with me because I'm doing this in my phone camera too, so. Okay, so with Tender, I just lightly dusted right underneath my brow line. So the next thing I'm going to do, I need to clean up another brush, so hold on one second. Hi everyone, thanks for joining. Just cleaning off my brush with my brush cleaner. I can't believe when I put it on here, it cleans it like to almost brand new. That's crazy. Okay, so the next color that I'm going to use, which is going to be in my crease, is Cheerful, which is this color right here. And you're just going to put this right here in your crease. So this is going to give you a little bit of a transition from under the brow line and your transition into your accent colors and your corner color. So when I'm applying it in the crease, I'll usually do small circles and then sway side to side. All right, so that's that color. So at the end, I will blend all of it together so that it has a nice flow to it in the transitions. So I will say, if I am going out for the night, my makeup usually takes me much longer. It probably takes me like an hour. I'm going to try and keep these videos under 30 minutes. I want these to be makeup looks that you can do quickly if you're a busy mom or you have a busy professional life. Something quick and easy for you to do on the go. I will eventually get into a little bit more of intricate looks that may take a little bit more time, but I wanted to start with easy stuff first for the people that are just joining my page now. So I'm going back to that tender color and I'm just blending it up here a little bit before I get into the next color. All right, bear with me guys, because my brushes are real dirty. Okay, so the next color that I'm going to do is going to be right here on the inner part of my crease. So I will be using this color Honest from palette 4. Oh, thank you, Nor. So to get that like opulent look, I'm going to actually take my setting spray and I'm going to spray my brush just a little bit, just to get it a little bit damp. And then you'll take it once it's a little bit wet and you'll swipe it through your color. And then as you can see, you get a little bit more of that wet look. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to smudge it. Hold on, let me see what side it is. I don't know why it's so dark in here today. Okay. So I'm just taking it and I'm just smudging it right here on my lid. I have to add a little bit more. All right, now let's get the other eye going. So I know this looks a little bit crazy right now, but it will all blend together when I do the outer color, which is going to be a little bit of a darker shade usually. That'll give you more of that smoky look. And then I take it to just kind of blend everything on the outside together. Hi everyone, thanks for joining. Sorry, I'm a little bit off my comments today, so. So then when you're doing it, when you're going from eye to eye, you are going to want to check up and back between the two of them and just make sure that they look even and you have equal product on both. You don't want one eye to be heavier than the other. Okay. All right. Now let me get one of my other brushes. So now my last color is going to be Triumphant, which is this darker one on the end. So notice when I do put colors, especially the darker colors on my brush, I dip it in the color, but then I take it and tap it on the side of the palette just to get any of the excess off. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of fallout underneath your eyes. But this is another point as to why I do my foundation after I do my eyes. This gives you a little bit more free room to move when you're doing it. If you have fallout and you have your foundation on already, you're going to see those little speckles all over and you're going to have to try and clean it up after the fact. Whereas this way, if I have speckles, that's totally fine. I can take a makeup remover or just even my finger and just wipe it off and then put my foundation on. So then my foundation looks seamless when I put it on. All right, so I'm going to take this and just blend the outside here. All right, so as I said, this is going to look a little crazy, especially because it's blue. But remember, I don't have my foundation on, so I am going to pull that color out a little bit further past my eyebrow, and then I will clean it up when I put on my foundation. I just want to make sure that there's an even distribution of the color. So you can see it goes out right to the edge of my eyebrow here. And on this too, I do similar motions. I'm doing the circular motions. And then because I'm doing it on the outside, I'm trying to give it more of that smoky look. I'm going to do it in like a V shape too. All right. I will take on the inner corner of my eye. I will take and lighten that up a little bit just because these blues are a little bit darker than what I would normally do. All right. So now I'm going to take and lighten it up just a little bit. So this lighter color that I did up here under my eyebrow, I'm just going to use that to lighten up this darker blue a little bit because it's a little bit intense. All right, let me take another color. I'm just going to lighten up the inner corner of my eye. These blues are a little bit darker than I remember them to be. So I'm going to just color like the inner part of my eye right here. Just because the outer corners are really intense, I want this inner part to be a little bit lighter because I don't want it to drown my eyes and look like it's really heavy makeup. Okay, so that looks a little bit better. Again, it looks really crazy because I don't have any foundation on either, so my skin's a little bit red, and then I have these really bright blue colors. So hang tight. So I'm going to take a makeup wipe that I have. It's just a little bit damp. And just in a diagonal line, pull this out a little bit. All right. All right. So, hi Sam. Thanks for joining, you guys. All right. Where is my foundation brush? Okay, so I'm all out of the foundation that I normally would use. I'm going to use an extra foundation that I had left over of. It's been a little bit crazy with shipping my stuff because everybody's trying to order their stuff, so hang tight. I am using the unique kabuki brush. This is one of my favorite applicators. Makes my foundation go on really nice. If you don't have a kabuki brush, I highly suggest getting one. And then I just took it because I'm using liquid foundation. I put it on the back of my hand because I don't want to put too much on and I want to make sure that I can evenly disperse it amongst my face so that you have that nice overall coverage, but you don't have it where there's like large chunks of. So see, like if you put a lot on like this, just to give you the example. So if you were to just leave it like this, it's going to look super caked on. Whereas up here, I used a really little bit and I blended it in. This brush, even if you put it on really heavy like this, you'll be able to pull it down and spread it fairly far. So as you can see, now I've been able to dab it out. So it matches what's going on with my forehead. It's not that really thick, cakey color now. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining. So also, if you notice, with putting on the liquid foundation, I do it a little bit different when I'm using a stick foundation. When I'm putting on the liquid foundation, I'm doing more of a stippling motion as opposed to like a circular motion or an up and down motion, because I don't want to get those lines. If I stipple it, I can also spread it out a little bit more. So just so you can see, this is what it looks like on the back of my hand. And I'm literally taking it like a paintbrush and just stippling it around my hand and then stipple it onto my face. So also remember, which I know this used to be a really big thing, but when you're putting on foundation, you want to make sure that you're blending it into your neck too. If you don't, you're going to get those hard foundation lines where they're going to be right here at your jawline, and you're going to tell where you put makeup on and what is your skin. You want it to all blend. And if you have the right color foundation, which if you don't know what it is, if you send me a selfie in natural light, I can color match you and let you know what the best color is for your skin tone. But if you have the right color of foundation and you blend it, it will look like it's your skin seamlessly from your face to your neck. So this particular foundation I'm using is a light to medium coverage, so I do need to do it a couple times over again. When I use the foundation that I usually get from Unique, I don't have to do that. I put it on once and it is a full coverage, which is what I like about it. Just because my skin's a little bit uneven, I have red spots, and that eliminates it. Which this does the same thing. If you can tell, it basically eliminated that. My eyes don't look so crazy now like they did before. It just takes me a little bit longer to get this nice and blended into my face. Okay. So now that my foundation is on, my next step is I'm going to take the cover up, which again, I don't have the favorite cover up that I usually have from Unique. So I'm just using what I have on hand. I'm going to use that to put it right underneath my eyes and pull it up here so that it eliminates any extra fallout that I have from my eyeshadow. And then I'm just going to pull it down here because this section right here is what you want to be that lighter color, because then you're going to do your contour, whether you do the contour with bronzer or you do it with a darker foundation or a stick foundation. There's a lot of different ways to contour. I personally do it with bronzer. I just like the way that it looks on me. I'm best at doing it with bronzer. But everybody does it a little bit different. So as you can see, I literally just drew it up. And then I will take this. And I'm going to put it in like a triangle shape. So I'm going to look a little crazy for a second, so we'll hang in there. And we're going to draw it right back up here, give you that triangle look. And then going to take it and do it right here. Make sure that this is nice and lighter. And then I'm going to do it at the base of my chin here. And this you're kind of doing in like I do it in like a lotus flower look almost. All right, so the next thing I'm going to take is my Beauty Blender, which don't mind it, it's a little dirty. I'm also going to take my setting spray. I'm going to spray that a couple times and then just squeeze it out. You don't want it to be soaking wet, just a little bit damp. It's going to help you move that cover, the cover up or the concealer. It's going to help you move that out a little bit. And kind of like how I did with the foundation, I'm going to just stipple it. All right, so I think I got all of it. Hold on. So this is what it looks like when you're done. It took away those bags and dark circles that I had underneath here. I'm going to spray it again, and then you head over to the other side. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm going to take my damp Beauty Blender and just pull it out. And then you want to make sure you blend it into your nose too, because I did the triangle to where it came down my nose and went out to my eyes. So you want to make sure that you blend that in really good. All right. And I'm going to do just the top here. Okay, now that's all blended, and then we just want to do down here. Okay, so if you can't tell, my face already looks way better. It's toned down the reds. It's gotten an even look across my face, and that's all just from my foundation and concealer. So the next thing that I'm going to do is, I particularly like a setting powder. I usually will let it bake for a little bit. Especially underneath my eyes. That's usually where I have the darkest spots. So I will usually dump it into my cover, or I'll take the little grate out of the center of it, and then I take my Beauty Blender and I literally douse it in it. And then I just put it right under where I put my concealer. I put a bunch of it right there underneath my eyes, right by my nose. Okay, so now I look crazy again, but this is how I let it sit, and then I'll let it sit, and I'll move on to my bronzer, which is my contouring part of it. So when I'm doing the contour, I am taking it from my temple across my forehead down to like the middle of my forehead to my other temple, and then from my temple down my cheek line on both sides, and then I'll do it on the sides of my nose, the front of my nose, right here underneath my lip, and then I'll do it here on my jawline. So once you do it, then you'll take this excess powder and I will blend it out. If I do it a little bit too dark, that's what the loose powder will be sitting there for. So this brush, I've gotten a lot of questions on this brush. This brush I got off of Amazon. I had seen another presenter use it, and I've never seen a fluffy fan brush like this. I got it off of Amazon. I want to say it was like 10 bucks, but it's a really great brush, surprisingly, for its price. None of this has fallen out. The brush has stayed in good use even after washing it several times. So I highly suggest it. If I can find it, I will link it in the description with the other products that I've used and the other brushes, so that you guys can go snag this up. So I will say, when I am doing the contouring, I do start out light, because I don't want it to be too dark. It sometimes is really hard to reverse it. You're going back and doing a lot of rework if you do it a little bit too dark. So I usually start out fairly light, and then I build it up if I need to. It does also depend on the year, or the time of year, I should say. In the summertime, I usually get fairly tan, so I don't really have to use a whole lot of bronzer. Whereas in the wintertime, I'm really white. So I have to use a little bit more. Again, this is another thing you're going to want to make sure that you blend it into your neck so that you don't have those crazy lines. So you can already see here. So here is where I put the bronzer. And then this is where it's the lighter tone. So it's giving me that little bit of contour between the spots on my face, which is just giving you a little bit more curvature to your look. All right, I think I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to take my kabuki brush and I'm going to just dab out this setting powder, and I'm going to pull it out right here underneath my eye, which is where I originally had it, and I'm going to pull it down to underneath my cheekbone to spread it out to the spot that's supposed to be lighter, that's going to blend between my cheekbone and my jawline contour. All right. I'm on the fence. I don't know if I want to do eyeliner today or if I want to skip the eyeliner and just do the mascara. All right. Well, while I think on that, let's do the highlight. So I have a fan brush for the highlight, but I'm out of my unique highlight, so I got to use this other highlight, which doesn't work quite as well. So I am going to use a different brush. This is more of a, this is a concealer brush, so don't judge me, but it has this pointed section and it holds a little bit more product than my fan brushes do, which I have a couple different styles of fan brushes. I have these two, which this one's a little bit smaller and has more of that triangle look to it. This one is definitely more fanned out, which when I'm using the unique stuff, it works way better. But this one I'm going to use the concealer brush. All right, so I'm going to put, not concealer, I'm going to put highlight right here in the arch of my brow. And then I'm going to take highlighter and put it right down the base of my nose and then right on the tip of my nose. I'm going to wait to do it right here because I want to put a little bit of blush on. So I'm going to put it right over on the top of my lip. And then I will take a little bit of it and put it up here and up here. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of pressed blusher on. I'm going to use the Moodstruck, I think it's Sweet, which is a little bit of that pinky tone. And I'm doing that color because I'm going to do the Opulence. Is that the color? Hold on. Is it Opulence? No, it's Upscale, which is more of a pinky tone. Because I use blues, I thought the pink lip, a lighter pink lip, would look really nice with this. And that is also in my skin tone color palette. I look best in blues and bright pinks and that royal blue color. So this will be a really nice look for me. So this is the pressed blusher. This is the color Sweet. I will link this in the description. So I'm just going to take this and put it right here on my cheekbone. So usually because I do my contour with bronzer, this is almost going to be like what do you call it? Ice cream? Like a Neapolitan look. So I'll do the bronzer, which is going to be that dark brown, the chocolate color. And then I'll take my blusher, which is usually some sort of a pinkish or plum tone. And I will do that one next, which will be a little bit over the bronzer color. And then right on top of that is where I'll put my highlight, which I usually will do like a pinkish color for that, or a gold color. Gold-based highlight, I should say. All right, so now I'm going to take this, and this is my highlighter. I'm going to put it right over it. So as you can see, so you see the brown here, the pink, and then you see the highlight. This is just going to give you a little bit more definition. So as you can see, all right. So let's move on to the eyes. I think I'm going to skip an eyeliner tonight, you guys. I'm going to just do the lashes, but I'm going to do the 4D mascara, which is going to give you that instant falsies look. So in most cases, if I'm using that mascara, I don't necessarily do an eyeliner unless it's like a night out and I want it to be a little bit more of a dramatic look. If this is more of a basic, like everyday kind of a look, I usually will skip out on the eyeliner. All right, so to start my lashes, I'm going to use the Moodstruck Epic Lash Primer, which is this white bottle here. I will link it in the description. It does have this curved brush, which I really like. It follows the line of your eyelashes, which I think is convenient. So as you can see, it comes out white, which is how you know that it's the primer. So this is really great for your eyes, just like you prime everything else. On your face, you want to do the same thing with your lashes. And you want to do it on the top and the bottom. All right. This is always so funny when I put it on because I can see the white, like when I'm looking through it, and it throws me off. Okay, so I'm going to use the Moodstruck Epic 4D mascara, which is this one. I got it a little bit wet, so ignore that. Okay, so this brush, as you can tell, it is covered in bristles all the way around, which is what gives you that 4D look. All right. So you're going to start from the base, and the nice thing about this is buildable. So the more layers you put on, the thicker your lashes are going to look, and the more of that falsy look that you're going to get. So you can control it. If you're only putting on one, you're going to have a little bit of a thicker looking eyelash, but it's not going to be something super dramatic that you couldn't wear to work or church. If you were to put 3 or 4 layers on, you're going to have more of that night out dramatic lash. Okay, so just in this top lash here, you can already tell the difference between this eye and this eye. This one does not have any on it. This one does. I put probably about 2 layers on this side. I'm going to just do the bottom, and then I got to put primer on the other side. Hi guys, thanks for joining. Okay, so again, this one has the 4D on it. This one does not. So you should be able to tell the difference. This one has the mascara on it. This one does not. All right, let me do the other side, and then we'll move on to the lips. So when I'm putting this mascara on, I am starting from the base of the eyelash and lightly pulling up to make sure that I'm getting the whole lash when I'm putting it on. All right, we'll do another layer on this side. All right, now onto the bottom. Okay, so just a quick thing. You'll notice that I forgot to do the lash primer on this side. You can't tell a huge difference on it. I can just tell a difference in the weight of my eyelash. It feels a little bit different on this side than it does on this side. But, I mean, for the most part, it still looks the same. The lash primer is just really great for your lashes to help keep them strong and make sure they stay long. So this is what it looks like with the mascara on. Hopefully it's easier for you guys to see when I move up close. And I will take pictures and I will put them on my Instagram, and I will add them probably onto my story so you guys can see the finished look if you weren't able to join me live. Okay, so let me think. I'm like on the fence about what I want to do here for lips. Let's see how this one looks. And let me clean up my lips first. All right. Oh, I like that. Okay, so I used the Color Upscale, and I will link this in the description. All right, so this is the finished look. The last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my setting spray. Usually only takes like 1, 2, 3 squirts. So right side, left side, and then the middle. You don't need a lot more than that. Okay. Oof, I just got some in my mouth. So the whole purpose of the setting spray, which I use a matte setting spray, is to just lock in your makeup so that it stays the way that it is, and it will stay this way for the whole night until you come home and decide to wash it off. So just quickly, this is what my final look looks like. As I said, I will take pictures. I'll put them on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you were here, make sure that you comment. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message, and make sure to like and share my business page, What Chelsea Likes. I will be coming on in just a little bit. I have no idea what time it is. But I'll be coming back on in just a little bit. I am going to throw in a couple curls with my La Rev flat iron from Lange. I was going to do a wand, but I wanted a little bit more with this particular look. I wanted a little bit more of a light curl. So I will show you how to curl with the straightener. So thank you so much for joining me again. If you have any questions, just reach out. Bye guys. See you soon.